Kia ora everyone. So today we're gonna go with our sixth episode of Samsa's podcast. So today's topic is gonna be about Asian Law Student Society and Vietnam Students Community, which is the clubs in UC. And I have two lovely guests today, which is first Ryan, the president of Asian Law Student Society, and Hank as the vice president of Vietnam Students Community. So I would like for Ryan first to give a little bit of introduction.
Hello. As you know, I'm the president of Asian Law Student Society. It's my third year at UC, studying law and commerce, loving it, and I'm glad to have you guys on the show.
Okay, sorry. So Hank.
So my name is Hank. That's not my real name. My name is Hang. Hank's pronounced kind of the same, so it's easier as well. So I'm the vice president of Vietnamese student community, as introduced by Shaq. I'm currently studying Bachelor of Commerce in Finance Accounting. This is my third year already. Hello everyone.
Yep. For the first question. Alright, for Ryan, talk about the story of how ALSS was formed.
So there isn't much to it, but it started last year, so it's quite a new club. Our previous president, Tony, he's not here anymore, he's graduated. He was the one that was kind of like the brainchild of the whole thing, and he started that last year. There isn't much to say about it, but I guess it's pretty much Tony filling in the gap for pretty much the emerging Asian population in the legal profession, you could say. So it's about time that we've got a bit of representation, I guess, because I think UC is the last club that's actually got an Asian Law Student Society, whereas other unis like Otago and Victoria University of Wellington, they've got very well established clubs. So I think it was only natural that this kind of came about last year, arguably even late, I'd say.
What do you mean is like other universities has Asian law clubs?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So
Well established ones as well. Victoria Uni one is quite big if you have a look yourself. It's so it's about time, I think. And yeah. So that's how it's kind of started off. Really.
Alright.
Yeah.
So what? Sorry. Is that all? So next is Hank. How was Vietnam Students Community was formed?
Yeah,
So
the story is very simple and short, but a bit of context behind that, from my personal perspective, is that when I first came to New Zealand, the first thing that I really felt is that the cultural difference, and it's very real. And what I immediately thought, to do is to look for some sort of Vietnamese student group to join, to get myself a bit less, to get myself immersed a bit easier. But they're not, so that was a bit unfortunate. And so back then I did think about, when I first came, which was about 3 years ago, I did think about to form a Vietnamese Student Association, but at the time the concept of nationality and culture was not a very big one for me, and I'm not very familiar with the environment here yet, so I did not make any initiative in creating a student body here, and I did not have any experience with dealing UCSA and UC in general, so after a while I just formed a club that related to my hobby, which is weightlifting. That's why I created UC Strength. I was involved in creating that club, and it's going pretty well right now. So if any of you keen on weightlifting, join. I know some very strong Malaysian students here.
What are your position there? The club?
Currently I'm general exec. Last year I was the president. Yeah. So eventually I made UC Strength, and around 2018, there was the first ever Vietnamese student, gathering organized by UC International Office, Mr. James Warner, if you know him. So, and from there I really saw that there's actually like a lot of Vietnamese students here because I have rarely met one before. And I found out there's actually a student group in here, but they're just not officially and organized and not formed as a representation of body of representation. So I thought I should contribute to that. I made a club before, so I should get involved. So that's why we got get it going currently. Yeah.
So for the second question is how many people are involved in VietSwap? So Hang first.
Yeah. So currently, you mean involved? You mean the exact group or the members or?
Everything, everybody.
Yeah. So in the exact group, we currently have 5 people just organizing stuff. But members, we have around 60 people, and that's including graduate students as well. And that's officially registered with UCSA, but unofficially, we had access to all the Vietnamese students, mailing list as well, so we can reach out to all of them. So unofficially, we have a little bit more than that, but I can't count for how many.
So then we're gonna give more questions first to Hang. Yeah. So is VietSwap UCSA affiliated?
Yeah, we got UC affiliate this year, last year as well, but it was in the middle of the year. So yeah, we're quite a new club, but yes, we are affiliated with UCSA.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to Ryan. How many people are involved in ALSS?
So in terms of this year's sign-ups of people, we managed to garner around roughly 100 people. So that's not including like last year's sign-ups, so there's a bit of an overlap.
Yeah.
So I'd say roughly around 100 realistically people. So we were pretty stoked about that because we were like not really like expecting to get that many in terms of sign-ups.
How much was last year?
I haven't done the numbers because I just looked at it, but it definitely didn't look as much as our spreadsheet for this year. I can tell you that. And in terms of our exec, we've got 6 very lovely people. Our VP Vanessa, our treasurer Rachel, Aglaya, our secretary, really good, and Jaden and Johnny, they're doing marketing and general exec. They just kind of like put these positions together. Really awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously it is UCSA affiliated.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think at the moment we're also taking strides to get affiliated with the law faculty, like all the other law clubs. I think at the moment we're the only one that's not affiliated with the law faculty. So we're taking steps towards that. But we're definitely UCSA affiliated, yeah.
What is the benefits of being affiliated with the law faculty?
I think the benefits with that is like, I believe, from what I've been told, there's like monthly meetings, so you're able to kind of get into, like, kind of have a dialogue with law faculty, kind of get to know what they're doing, and kind of have them know what you're doing, and also have them kind of support you in whatever you're doing, either through action, like what you need physically, or like financially as well. I believe they kind of back you financially a little bit, so it kind of keeps you going a bit, Yeah.
Alright, so moving on to the next question is, what is the vision and mission of Asian Law Students Society?
So we're in a social club, right? Like I said earlier, because there's an emerging Asian population with the legal profession that's a little bit underrepresented. What we're trying to do is like a social club for those people, so Asian studies law, that kind of stuff. But in a way where it also brings other people together as well, that indiscriminately. So that's kind of really our vision, to kind of celebrate the people that study law, that are Asian, but also in a way that doesn't discriminate and welcomes everybody. Yeah.
Alright, so So last question for Ryan at this current time. Before I move on to Hank, why do Asian Law wants to collaborate with SAMHSA for this upcoming sports carnival?
So, well, CMSA, right? You guys are a very big crowd of Asian people, which I think is great. But also, I think it would be really good for our crowd because you guys are just like limited to law. It's like Asian people, but you do everything, you know, engineering, commerce, you name it, you're all in there. So it kind of gives our, like our base, I guess, kind of like a view for other people, if it makes sense. Like other people to connect with, really. And sport, you know, it's always good, gets you away from the books, a bit of wellness, a bit of, you know, it just kind of breaks things up for them, yeah, socializing. Yeah.
So move on to Hank. So what is the vision of vision and mission of Vietnam students community?
Just to put it short and simply, is that we just want to have representation of Vietnamese students on the campus, and just to connect them internally. But what we have in the back of our mind is just to very much reach out to other clubs as well. And I think it's important to have that kind of cultural connection since we're in an international environment here. So yeah.
And the next is, why does VietSoc wants to collaborate with SAMHSA for this sports carnival?
Yeah. So the honest answer, is just to we want to have a gesture and to show that we are keen to collaborate, with other clubs. So that's our initial first step. But beside from that, less abstract extent, then it's just it's sports. Like come and play, have some fun.
Mingle around. So the next question is, what are the activities that VietSoc organize, Vietnam Students Community organize for the whole year?
Yeah. So going down the list, we have movie night planning during the term break, and we're also thinking about doing cheap haircuts weekly because I know that's we know that's a big issue. So every Asian student here is to get those damn haircuts in. And we're thinking about just doing $3 or $5, and one of our exec,
it's very cheap.
Yeah, and one of our exec member actually learned how to do haircut as well, like formally. So he can do some good haircuts, and other informal people, like myself, for example, I always cut my own hair. So yeah, and there's one thing that we're thinking about as well is an entertainment night. We're thinking about it's just a food gathering, but we will add on certain games and music performance as well. We have some people who can really sing in the member, so we're thinking about to bring them in, and just have a performance night, which could be pretty cool. And aside from that, we're looking to collab, with other clubs as well. Initially with CMSA right now, and with UCGS, later on as well. We're planning to, but we're open to any clubs really. So we're still on the outlook for that.
All right. So. Moving on to Ryan.
Yep.
So, what are the activities that Asian Law wants to are organizing for the whole year?
So at the moment we're still kind of in the works of like cementing everything, I guess you could say. We're still kind of brainstorming and finalizing everything because we're a small club, we need sponsors, and they kind of want to see what we want to do. But at the moment, what we have kind of in the works is, I think one of the biggest ones you could say is kind of a big sports exchange with all the other Asian law student societies, so Otago and Victoria.
Oh.
So we are possibly going to start talking about that in a couple of weeks and possibly planning that around. And initially speaking, we said probably around April. So that's a big thing that we might be doing. Other things in the works as well is like a repeat of our karaoke night from last year. we're thinking of doing some BYOs. And we have a few other things in the works as well, but we just want to cement things down. So nothing quite there. Like we've also had in the works like a laser tag night or something like that. But yeah, like kind of wholesome stuff, and maybe even like an end of exam potluck or whatever. But we're still kind of cementing things. We also want to like collaborate with other clubs as well, because we kind of need the other clubs as well to kind of bolster our reputation, I guess, because we're so small and so new. But yeah, at the moment we're still kind of cementing things.
Alright. That's the idea of the sports exchange.
Yeah.
It's very interesting,
Yeah.
as we Malaysian students have our own like sports
Oh really?
exchange or event.
And it's different to the sports carnival that we're currently doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a sports carnival, but we rotate around Otago, Wellington, and Auckland and asked
Yeah.
to host it. So this year is going to be in Otago. So it's called the Bersatu Games, and actually this year is going to be less people, as there are less and less people coming in from our government that are sponsored by our government. So yeah, we can collaborate with that actually, like the Malaysian clubs of each universities, and combine it with their Asians club, and do the students at the sports exchange together. So it's gonna be a little bit bigger, and I think it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We could look into that.
yeah. So that's good to know. And sorry. So what kind of outcome do you want from this collaboration with Samsung in the sports carnival?
I think, well, there's a few things, but like just build a relationship with you guys. I think it's a good start. I think it's a really good. You guys are a really good club to possibly work with, and I think it'll be a good thing for our members too to kind of connect with other people within your club, with another group of Asians, I guess you could say. So I don't expect too much, to be honest. I'm just happy to let this happen and just see how it goes, I think. But I think it's a matter of just building a relationship with you guys and letting our base of people connect with other people. Yeah.
Yeah. So hold up. So does Asian Law has any other suggestion for future collaboration? I think.
Actually, I saw that question. I actually wasn't really sure what that kind of meant. Can you actually kind of further explain it? Because I was like looking at it, I was like, oh.
Actually, I don't really have any other ideas. So it's like, does your club has any other events that you want to collaborate with us? So I think, for example, like the International Cultural Festival, right, that was organized by UCGS.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be, I think all of us are gonna collaborate in that. So I think that's one example.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had already explained about like your annual activities, and it's really currently in the works.
Yeah.
So probably there's none at the moment.
Yeah. Nothing at the moment, but I mean, like, probably we could even do, like, perhaps, like, I'm sure, like, the Malaysian bunch love it, like, Korean barbecues or something, like, one big kind of event like that. But yeah. I mean, I'm more than happy to work further on if it makes sense, because just kind of still planning. This is a lot to plan for the year, so I'm just like, but yeah.
It's alright. Yeah, take it slow. And yeah, moving on to thank you, Ryan. So moving on to Hank. And what have I asked you about the activities?
Yes, you did.
So what kind of outcome do you want to have after the sports carnival, the collaboration?
Yeah, outcome here, I was suppose you mean in terms of members, or people participating in the sports carnival. Think it's not much really. Just have some fun. I guess that'd be terrific if people have fun.
Yeah.
Because it's sports carnival. So yeah. But in terms of other things, like Ryan said, it's always good, to connect with other clubs. So initial step to, connect with CMSA. Yeah, which I think is good.
So the last question for Hank, does VSOP has any other suggestion for future collaboration?
Yes, personally, I think some sort of cultural learning session between all the international student society clubs. It's be a cool idea. Yeah, just kind of gather together and then maybe have some sort of seminar, I guess.
Like language.
Yeah,
exchange.
I think language is not that important in terms of cultural aspect. It's just you can include language, but it's really the meaning around the culture.
I think sometimes even just connecting on common ground.
Yeah. So something like that, like it could be even basic things like, what's the state of Malaysia right now? What's the politics in there? You can touch on a lot of topics, but I think the most important one, just to get people to know about each other countries, because that's one thing I always find very funny is that although the Southeast Asian countries or Asian countries in general are very close, but we don't really know about other countries like religion or culture or that sort of thing. We don't know how you guys behave, that kind of thing. Yeah, which I found which I learned a lot when I came here. I met a lot of Malaysian friends and a lot of Indonesian people and Chinese people and Koreans. So I get to know that they actually behave like that. Before I just had ideas, which turned out to be all wrong.
like stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
Stuff you get told and
Yeah. So I think bottom line, I think cultural session would be cool. But I'm really open to discuss further with CMSA about this. I haven't told the exec members in the club about this as well. So that's something very much up to debate. And another thing that we're thinking doing could be some sort of academic support. I'm not sure if CMSA has it or not. No, yeah?
Don't have.
Yeah, so some sort of academic support I think would be cool. And especially, in terms of the Vietnamese members we have in the club, the Vietnamese students, they have a wide variety, like they're pretty smart. So, they can really help a lot. Like in terms of, a lot of students they are studying data science, engineering, and, they have good, like say, MATLAB skills, and computer coding skills. So, academic session, that's the second one.
So for the academic session, is it the students are gonna be the one in charge, or?
Yeah, sort of like that. Because it's just student, society, the student body. So it makes sense for students just to help each other out. Yeah.
But I think that's usually it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it could be hard. I'm not saying it's easy.
So it's gonna have a proper planning.
Yeah.
Because especially when it's like the crunch time, like the exam time, the end of the semester is gonna be very, very busy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there are some other, the other clubs, the academic clubs on campus, they're already doing tutorial session, which is pretty helpful. Yeah, and I think incorporating that, into, I don't think like NSOP do some tutorial session as well, right? Yeah, but the problem with that sometimes I see is that I heard from a friend as well, that going to the NSOP session, they explain in a Kiwi way, which can cause a little bit of problem for international students, especially the first year ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just that like the Kiwi culture is different, so the way that they explain things and they joke around, in the session, what actually happened there. Yeah, interesting. So I think having sort of like that's why again I think like when I first came here, that I really tried to look for a Vietnamese student group, just to immerse myself better. But I find none, and I think this is the sort of thing the student association can do, just to put some effort in, not too much. Don't have to be too rigorous. Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Yeah.
For now, but I think I just have one question for Hank.
Yeah.
So what is like the what's the backgrounds of the students, the Vietnamese students in UC?
The
Are they
background?
like government sponsored, or most of them are private
Oh,
students?
not at all, to be honest. Like speaking in terms of like education and political connection. I think Malaysia got a better connection in terms of that. That's why you have a lot of sponsored students going here. But Vietnam, most Vietnamese students here are mostly independent. Yeah. So unlike like Malaysian or Chinese, or Indian, there is some formal links there. That that's why students came here. But for Vietnamese, it's mostly independent students that came here, including me. So, yeah.
So, what about the Vietnamese community in Christchurch?
The
Do you
community-
have the picture of it, like how large is it?
Yeah, it's hard to describe, but there has been more Vietnamese coming into Christchurch recently. In Auckland, there are a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, so most of them are in Auckland. But in Christchurch, it has been growing recently, and the community I could describe is very close because it's a small community. We are very close, and there are only like a couple of families who usually stand and organize things for people to. Yeah, like the Lantern Lunar Festival, and the Lunar New Year, that kind of thing. There are like a couple of like very, like the families who have lived here for a long time, like 10, 15 years or 20 years. Yeah, they organize all those things, and it's very close knit. Like everybody kind of know each other. So
That's good. That's good.
yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's it. Does any of you have questions to each other or to me?
At the top of the head,
Sorry?
not at the top of my head.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Nothing pressing just yet.
Yeah.
Alright. So, yeah, that's all for now. So are you guys aware of how the sports carnival are going to be run?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, some last words to your audience, to the audience.
Who's the audience?
Ryan first.
Who's the audience? Yeah.
Like the Samsa, and you can also share it to your club members.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for listening to us. Go to the CMSA Sports Carnival. It's going to be amazing.
Hope so.
No, don't hope so. It will. It will.
Yeah,
be.
it will.
Yeah. Hank.
Yeah. I want to thank you as well for taking time to listen. And yeah, from a Vietnamese, your Malaysian students are great. Made a lot of friendly Malaysian friends. So you guys keep it up, and I hope to see a lot of you at Sports Carnival. I'll be coming there as well.
I hope to see some new faces
Yeah.
in there. So that's it from me. Thank you everyone for listening. This 6th episode of Samsa Podcast, and share it around, like the Facebook page, like our video, share it around. We have a YouTube channel, an Instagram channel, as you can see in the video below, the bottom part. And this podcast is also gonna be uploaded into our Spotify. So you just have to search Samsa Podcast in Spotify, and it will hopefully turn up, and you can enjoy the podcast when you have free time. Yeah, for example, while you're driving. Yeah, it's good. It's a good way to fill up your time. And
Just an example, not one.
Yeah.
Don't use it for while driving as well. Disclaimer.
Yeah. So thank you again for Ryan and Hank for coming to this session, and looking forward for the sports carnival this weekend, and also FIFA, which is tomorrow. So please, for those who didn't sign up, please sign up as fast as you can, as the form gonna be shut down tomorrow 12 PM. So thank you everyone. Have a good day. Thank you.